What's going on YouTube? So today we're going to be talking about front end, back end, full stack. What are the differences? What are the similarities? And what are they all about, right? What are the differences? So it's super important to understand this because depending on which one you choose kind of shapes the technologies and the future in which you're going in your career. So you can start one, and of course, you can always pivot to another one as you find like things of more interest to you. You can always pivot at any given time. But let's start with the front end. So, front end, basically, that's like the client side. Client side meaning what the user is seeing. So, when you go to www.google.com, what are you seeing on that page? You see a little input like box for you to input your text. You see a little magnifying glass. You see Google. Maybe you might see other stuff on the side above or whatnot. But that's pretty much the front end. What the person is going to see. It's kind of like if you have a box, a cardboard box, and you colored the outside of the box. So when people walk by, they would see that outside of the box being colored, excuse me. And so that would be like what a front end developer would be doing. And so technology wise, what technology you'll be using is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Those are like the core. And then when you dig deeper, you're going to be using a framework to wrap all of those in. So it might be Vue, it might be Angular. You might have heard of those. And then the last one is probably the most popular one, React, which is shifting to Next.js nowadays, right? So the front end developer is basically responsible for, or they basically work on the layout, the design, and the interactivity of the websites or applications. Okay, so basically, a designer would be giving over like what they actually made, their prototype, and like this is how the website is supposed to look like. They would be giving that to the front end developers, and the front end developers would make it look like that. They would actually build something that is responsive and actually works the way that they actually organized it. So there's that one there. Uh, Next, we actually have backend. So when it comes to backend development, these are the things that you can't see. So I want you to think of the like same cardboard box analogy. So the front end developer is like coloring on the front side of the cardboard box, while the backend developer is like actually inside of the box, if you will, and like making sure everything like there's no leaks. If there's like a hole in the cardboard, maybe they put some tape over it to make sure like it doesn't like drip down. Basically, they're making sure everything is functioning, is sturdy, and everything on the front is supported. So, what does that look like in terms of technical jargon, if you will? So more along the technical jargon aspect of it would be you're basically messing with the database. So database, servers, right? You're processing that information. So some of those languages, you still can do this in JavaScript, by the way, but like I guess if you went for like a different type of language. So like there's other obviously programming languages like Python, Ruby, Java, PHP, .NET. And then there's databases like SQL, MySQL, SQL Server, MongoDB. So there's relational databases. There's even AWS, DynamoDB. There's Firebase as well. There's a few different types of server or databases rather that you can operate with. And so the backend is really responsible for like creating, maintaining, testing, debugging the entire database, servers, and the applications on the backend, meaning that the client, the user cannot see. So when you go to google.com, you see the UI, it just looks so minimum. Like it's very like few things that you actually see. But on the back end, there's so much going on. So much going on. It's extremely complicated. That's also why it's the number one search engine, right? So that's that aspect of things. And then we want a full stack. What is a full stack developer? Well, a full stack developer, guess what? They're doing the front and they're doing the back. So they have that cardboard box and they're designing the front end, like they're coloring it, and then they come inside and patching everything, making sure everything is working. Obviously, it's a lot more. It is a tougher job. A lot of people like to think about it like, oh, if I'm going to be a developer, I want to be a full stack developer. That's what everybody says. Like, I want to be a full stack developer. The full stack developer is great. But again, that is probably that is the hardest one, because you have to do everything. Now, of course, you want to be able to do everything, but it's okay to specialize in one or the other. And in my case, I specialized in front end web development. And so I came in the industry from teaching into front end position. Also, if you're curious about like how you can do that too, I have a roadmap at the bottom in the description that you'll be able to download. It's free, of course. It should be able to definitely help you get started and at least paint a picture if you're already on a specific path, just to kind of outline, like to make sure like this is the correct way you're going. I even have it like broken down into like weeks. If you're trying to do like a timeline, you can modify it to be whatever timeline specific you are. I did about 3 months to get like really cram in the education aspect of things for you there. And if it's longer, just stretch it out a little bit longer than that. So yeah, so full stack developers are proficient on the back end and also on the front end. They can literally do everything. They can create the whole entire application, the servers, databases, and the user interfaces and the beginning. It's not really that challenging, I should say. It just requires time for you to learn a lot. So if you're kind of on a time crunch, or you're tired of your job and you want to be able to switch jobs, get into the industry as quickly as possible, I highly, highly recommend learning front end web development, because there are a lot of positions that need like front end developers. And so get in that way. And then once you get in, I would definitely focus on like learning those other languages that you will need to like be able to thrive as a full stack developer, because ultimately the more you know, the more valuable you become. And if you are more valuable, obviously the companies are less willing to let you go, right? They're going to need you in case there's layoffs, but they're going to want to keep you. And then also you can demand more money in the future, right? When you're negotiating for either a promotion, a salary increase, or a different job if you're hopping. So hopefully that starts to clear a bit better picture for you in terms of what a full stack developer is, what a front end developer is, and what a back end developer is. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions for this, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.